Hello everyone! We want to wish you a very warm welcome.
And remember, we love you very much.
We just had to do that.
Oh, it's too good.
Yes, we've really enjoyed all of your comments, and thank you so much for taking the time to watch and comment on our videos.
Yep, and there's just so much support out there, so anyone who's watching or who's liked and shared or done anything with our videos, hey, thanks, man. We really, really appreciate it.
Yes. So, what is our topic today, Mike? Tell us our topic.
Growing up as a Jehovah's Witness, but specifically in our era. I was born in 1973, so that was pretty much the late 70s, early 80s was our childhood. And there's so many things that happened in that time period that I've been reminded of lately, and things that you could just never forget. And so, we just wanted to kind of share some of those stories.
We know a lot of you will relate to the stories that we're going to talk about. And a lot of you seem to be sort of our generation, so we just thought it would be fun to talk about.
Yeah, and there's always some great comments and great stories shared in the comments section. I would love to hear more of these stories. We were watching a video from The Great Apostate, and oh, we love this guy. He's one of the coolest, funniest guys. And he shared a story that we'll get to in a few minutes that I laughed because I thought that was a United States thing, and here he is in Ireland, and he knows the story, and we've heard about it from Australia. It's just great. It's great stuff. So we're going to get to that in just a minute.
Yeah.
But, with the thing that started, let's just go back to the very beginning. The very beginning. First thing I remember as being a kid, as a Jehovah's Witness, was that Armageddon was coming, of course. Armageddon's always coming.
Yeah, it's always been coming.
But that I literally thought that I would go to bed one night and wake up in the morning and open the window and it would look like the pictures in the book. Like the animals would be there, whatever buildings were there before, they'd be gone. There'd be a mountain there now. It seemed to me as a kid that it was like an overnight thing. That's before I think I realized all the death and destruction was going to happen. I thought it would happen while I was sleeping or something.
I probably thought that too when I was really young, but my memories are more of the Revelation book kind of pictures of what if it happens and I'm at the mall and everybody around me is getting killed. How am I going to be protected? Is an angel going to protect me?
You better get to a kingdom hall.
I better know how to get to a kingdom hall.
That's right. And as I got older, I started thinking a lot more about Armageddon. I think I started realizing that the pictures and, the people that I went to school with were going to die. And couldn't get that out of my head for a really long time. And, I guess it was, I don't remember how old exactly I was, but I definitely believed that I had to prepare myself for potentially being tortured, for potentially being interrogated, to give up a list of names for whoever's in the congregation, the elders' names. I mean, that was a real thing to me, and I wish I should have got it, but I actually, as a kid, had a basic a survival kit, and I had this thing for years. I still have it to this day. Waterproof matches, fishing kits, saws, all this stuff that I was ready to bug out in about 5 minutes and be in the woods somewhere and off the radar when Armageddon hit if something went down. And it's funny because never really put the two together, but I was like this kid who was ready to survive in the jungle just to be, off the radar. And it was that kind of thinking, that being scared of the end and being scared of being captured or tortured and that kind of stuff. I mean, it was a real thought for me when I was a kid.
Oh yeah, I mean, I was definitely had a fear of being tortured.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing in particular that I always thought, oh, Jehovah, please don't let them ever do this one thing. It has to do with teeth. I have a whole thing about teeth. Please, Jehovah, don't ever let them try to pull my teeth out because I'll give up everything for that.
Yeah, and these are real thoughts. For me, it was bamboo shoots and the fingernails. And I guess it's because you're a kid. I see that stuff in TVs and in movies and things, or you pick it up from somewhere. I don't know, but that was a real thought as I was a kid, you know?
And yeah, and even as we got older, I remember being told, you know, we have to learn how to get along with those in the congregation because we're probably going to be living with them.
That's right.
We're probably going to all be living together, or we're going to be stuck in a prison cell together.
Oh God. No.
But yeah, I mean, and this wasn't like very long ago that I remember people saying things like that. So
Yeah.
I don't know if they're still saying that. Probably are.
Wow. And then as we got into, I guess it was late 70s, early 80s, and I was talking to Robin about this last week, I seem to remember a wave of interest in the satanic and in the occult. And it started with horror movies. I'm sure what The Exorcist was like 1979, and you had the Amityville Horror, and you have Poltergeist, and you have like a string of these type of movies that were popular. But not just that. As a witness, it was Dungeons and Dragons, the role-playing game. It was video games, like there was one that came out when I was a kid called Dragon's Lair, and it was the first video game to have a cartoon-like graphics, and I never played it. I wanted to so bad, but it was bad, so I never did it. And you know, think movies like Gremlins and things like that. Oh God, no, those are demons. But what really made us laugh. The funniest thing I've ever seen.
In honor of this topic, I'm wearing the color blue.
So, a while ago, we stumbled onto a video on YouTube by someone whose channel is called Kingdom Hall of JWs with an S at the end, all one word. And it's a series of cartoons. It is possibly the funniest thing I have ever seen. If you grew up as a Jehovah's Witness in that time period, you've got to check them out. They're absolutely hilarious. They're not like jokey funny. They're just like so spot on. It's scary funny. And it made us laugh.
Yeah, you have to listen to what they're saying, because when you listen, it's exactly what we were hearing in the meetings and field service. It's just a really funny series of sort of South Park-like cartoon.
Kind of, yeah. So this is what made us laugh. The Smurfs. And this is to the great apostate too, because you know, when you read the story about somebody else telling about the Smurf coming to life in the Kingdom Hall and running out, I thought that was only a United States thing.
Oh, I thought that was only in our area.
Oh my God.
I mean, everybody heard this story. That right in the middle of a meeting, the Smurf got up, screamed, I think yelled a profanity, and ran out the Kingdom Hall.
Way too funny, but it made me laugh so hard when we saw that video, because it made me realize this has got to be some kind of a worldwide
urban legend among Jehovah's Witnesses about Smurfs being demonic.
Yeah. And you know, going on with that topic too, it was around that time that I think I really had my first issue with cognitive dissonance in the organization, simply because we had some Smurf action figures as a kid. You know, they're just plastic toys, you know, 2 inches tall or whatever, nothing to them. But some other people in the congregation who were our age, a family with kids, were all on this whole demonism thing and the Smurfs, and they were the ones propagating these stories that we all heard about a Smurf killing a baby, about, you know, the Smurf running out, you know, all these crazy stories. So as a kid, it wasn't just the Smurfs, but it was E.T. as well, because E.T. was a demon because he had the light finger thing or whatever. But it was that they had an issue with us having these toys, and we had to get rid of them. Even though my parents said, we don't really think there's an issue with this, it's just a plastic toy. But they said, we don't want to stumble or offend anyone else in the congregation, so we're going to get rid of your stuff. And as a kid, I couldn't make sense of that. That seemed to me like the greatest injustice of all. And you know, it must have stuck in my craw because I'm 42 years old and I remember it to this very day. And I remember asking my dad, I don't understand why we have to get rid of our stuff because somebody else doesn't like it. If they don't like it, they don't have to have these things, you know, it's fine. But it made me think of the Sparlock thing with the Caleb and Sophia video. So any of you guys watching who are parents or who have kids who are still in the organization, or man, that kind of stuff, asking a child to throw away a toy for no reason, when the kid knows it's not a demon, the kid knows it's just a plastic toy, it's called imagination, people. Imagination.
Right.
And so you make your kid get rid of a toy, maybe a $2 toy. It doesn't matter. That is what that child will remember.
Yeah.
They will remember that their parents did something that made no sense to them, and actually, taking something away from them, taking choices away from them, was the first time it becomes really obvious. So keep that in mind,
right.
Parents.
It really is disempowering your child to feel helpless and like they have no control over their life if you're forcing them to get rid of their toys just because other people are offended by it.
And if you think a 10-year-old child doesn't understand the entire situation, you're wrong. Kids are smart. They understand what's going on in the world today. They know that there's no correlation between Satan and a plastic toy. So think about that.
Yeah.
Maybe it's time we should take a break and continue with part 2. See you on the other side.
Yeah. Bye.